Are we on?
Action.
Okay, so here we are, guys. A little late, but we're doing the
Recap?
recap. Well, it is.
Why is it a little late?
Because this won't. Brandon's not superhuman. He's got to edit it.
I mean, he's pretty superhuman.
Okay, back to the recap. So, guys, we're going to do a quick recap of day 3 of the Rogue Invitational. Today, I actually have a special guest, Tia-Clair, joining us today.
Wait, did you do a recap day 1 and day 2? Oh, I'm so proud.
She said she didn't.
That's so cool.
She didn't watch it, did she?
I did not watch it. My bad. I was a little preoccupied.
So today's format's going to be a little different. I'm going to ask Tia a series of questions and then get her quick breakdown. I'm going to put her to a 60-second timer to keep her accountable for her time.
What, do I ramble?
It's all for good for the channel. So, guys, please enjoy, sit back, and hopefully we answer the questions you're thinking of as well. So, Tia,
Yes,
please talk us through a real quick rundown of the Friday and the Saturday in about 60 to 75 seconds. Go.
I feel like that's impossible, but okay. Feeling a lot of pressure right now. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so Friday we had the rope climb workout, and we also had the clean and jerk workout. The complex. So the first event went great. Those rope climbs were very high. It was definitely a rope climb workout. And I felt like once you got back to the rope climbs for the second time, that's where the workout really mattered. And then it was pretty much like just finishing it off. Those over-unders weren't a whole lot. And the wheelbarrow was really nothing, but you still had to get the work done. The Friday night event with the Bella Complex, that was really cool considering it was a Rogue Challenge a few months ago. And so to get 260, that was awesome. I feel like I actually could have gotten a lot more. The more we did it, the better it felt actually. And then the fireworks were just spectacular. I thought that that was a really nice add to the experience. On day 2, it wasn't a great day in terms of placings for me. However, I still enjoyed it and I still had a really great day. So we had the burner, which was the thrusters and the echo bike, and I felt like I brought it as best as I could on that day. Then we had the ski erg workout. Well, something that was so cool about that was when I started to make a move on my 3rd round, the crowd just started to erupt, and as I'm running down the hill, it was just so loud. It was just so overwhelming, and I just really got to embrace the crowd and just how many people were actually at the Rogue Invitational, and I'll never forget that moment. And then to finish off, we had the mule workout, which was a repeat of the 2019 deadlift mule workout, and that was really good too. I felt like I did make a couple of little mistakes in that one, but all in all, you know, a really great workout to finish off the day. And then day 3, do I have to do day 3 as well, or we're going to do that?
No, you're good. You're on a good pace there. I forgot where I was for a second, but I love it.
So he's saying he zoned out?
No, not zoned out, zoned in.
Okay, that was like me done. That's me done.
No, okay, so then, oh wow, thanks for sharing that, Tia. That was really cool and very insightful. We really appreciate it. Moving on to Sunday though, you know?
Yeah.
Sunday, event 6. Rather than me recapping it, what do you think was the significant component to that workout?
So significant part was definitely the handstand push-ups and muscle-ups. It really came down to that. You know, you don't think 30 muscle-ups is a lot, or 60 strict
30 muscle-ups is a lot.
No, but you know, like
I'm still accumulating 30 muscle-ups in my time.
But with the amount of training that I do, it's not a whole lot for me. And also 60 strict push-ups without a deficit isn't a whole lot either, but they definitely accumulate. And the sandbag carries, they weren't extremely hard, but the forearms and the triceps were burning through the whole carry. So that really kind of blew up the triceps, which really made the pressing out a lot harder. And I thought that was very significant.
Yeah, so I think that really came down to your tricep. Let's do that again. I think that really came down to your tricep stamina or endurance, right? Okay, so how did you approach it? What did we do? What do you think of? And go for it.
So
Number 6.
Number 6. So I just slowed down the row, my first row.
Because it was apparent that you came off the row last.
Yes, I am very well aware of that. I literally looked around and I was like, oh, okay. A bit slow off the mark there, Tia. But I knew that if I just knew that the workout wasn't won in that first row. So yes, I was starting behind and I was like chasing essentially from the very beginning, but I definitely backed my own ability when it came to the muscle ups and the strict handstand push-ups. Also step ups, they're a great movement for me. All of those movements were really great for me, and so it was just about staying composed, staying in my lane, and really focusing on my own ability and just allowing me to just do my thing when I was out there. And that really, I think, it set me up for a really great event. I didn't win it, but I still felt like I put up a really good time. Yeah?
For number 6, yeah. Well, I won't elaborate on that. I think that was best said by Tia.
Thank you.
Event 7, we had
the Jewel,
which is the bracket format. So what, again, just a real quick recap. It took me many recaps to understand how the actual bracket worked in this format. But essentially what they did was, since the field was 20 deep, they had placings from 5th all the way to 20th, do round 1 in sections of 5, and then what they did was, on the second round, they introduced
the top 5.
The top 5 back into the bracket. So essentially, if you make a top 5, if you're sitting in the top 5 leading to event 7, you had one less round to do, if that makes sense. And I think that was a great, I wouldn't say advantage, but a great opportunity for those at top 5 to obviously not have to experience that much volume, of reps going through each round. However, it did make them a touch slower off the mark because they hadn't felt what a whole entire round felt like the prior heats did.
Yeah.
So what you saw was, sure, we had a lot of the great movers in that round, and they obviously went on to win, or the top 2 went on to carry on from that. But they were those that performed in the first round were actually quicker come second round. So they had the advantage of watching an entire round go through. However, they didn't physically know what it's like to do a round, so they were a touch slower. But obviously, based off their snatch ability, they were able to pick up and go pretty fast throughout the set. And then momentum started creating for them afterwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it did for me, and I felt like we warmed up, and then we had a very long time of just like watching everyone else go. And so it was so important when we're in the dugout to not get too cool, stay focused, stay engaged, and making sure that the body was somewhat relaxed, but also still like ready to move. Considering we didn't have anything to warm up with in the dugout. So
how was it?
I thought that was a fantastic workout. I thought that it was a workout that allowed all the athletes to attack and just really go for it and leave nothing out on the floor. It was so important that you didn't worry about what everyone else was doing. You were in your own lane and you were focusing on what you had to do, because any slight mistake could be detrimental to your performance and to your time. And the time was what allowed you to progress. It didn't matter where you placed in your heat. So that was so important. You weren't just racing against the ladies that were in your heat, you were racing against the ladies against the whole field. So as people were dropping off, and then we had you started becoming like more aware of, okay, the double unders are starting to pick up a little bit and my arms are feeling a little bit more fatigued. And then before you know it though, I managed to make it to the very last round, going up against Laura, and just executed beautifully and got so fired up when I crossed that finish line. And that was definitely a really, really great way to finish the weekend.
Yeah, nice. So I did think we'd end there, but what was the celebration for, do you think? Because I think you realised prior to that moment that you had won the competition.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going into the last event, I knew I had to beat Annie because she was...
Right? It was like winner takes all, essentially. Right?
Essentially, yeah. And you know, she had been just fighting so hard throughout the weekend, and that was just such an awesome battle between her, myself, and the other competitors. But you know, like, just for me, it was about staying engaged. And once she made that mistake, and then she actually didn't make it to the next round, you know, I came back to, you know, like, you don't just settle. You know, the competition's not over, so why like give up now? And for me, it was just about finishing the weekend off on a high, and for being proud of my efforts, and you know, being able to showcase what I'm truly capable of doing. And you know, the whole weekend, I feel like we're putting on such a great show where, you know, no one knew who was going to win. And that was a really great experience as an athlete, and I learned so much from that. I think that just raw emotion that came out of me at the very end was something that I just was able to really just embrace, and just, it was a appreciation for the crowd that was cheering me on, and you know, just everyone that's in my corner and that has, you know, supported me and been there with me every step of the way. It was somewhat of a thank you for, like, yes, we did it, you know. It wasn't me out there just by myself, like, I was out there representing everyone.
Throughout the weekend, was there anything worth noting, like any special moment or anything, like interaction or something that the viewers or anyone who would have been there did not see behind the scenes in the warm-up area, through the locker rooms, or did any interactions or anything that would, like, just something,
yeah,
give something to the people, that give a little peep behind the doors,
behind the scenes? You know what, like, I think the Rogue Invitational is such a special event because it's very different, you know. It created a platform where so many athletes got to come. We had the legends. So the legends are the people that, you know, began the CrossFit Games series, right? Like, they were the first athletes, they were the OGs, and you know, they are the legends of our sport. And that is, like, so incredible to see. You know, some of them were before my time, before I even knew what CrossFit was. And I have, over my journey in CrossFit, learned to appreciate what they were capable of doing and how they set the mark. And you know, if it wasn't for them, I don't know if, you know, we would be here, right? And then, so seeing them work out and just, you know, warming up and having a great time, that was awesome to see. And then seeing the strongman and the record breakers, those athletes are unbelievably talented, and they're just, you can tell how passionate they are about their sport. And it was so awesome to be able to incorporate that into a CrossFit event and be able to showcase what they're capable of doing. And like, I mean, I can't even begin to imagine how they even did that. So that was really cool to be brushing shoulders with them, and like, they are so huge.
So what was your moment?
Oh, well, kind of like all the
event.
Well, okay.
Rogue paying you for this one?
No, okay, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
You know what I mean?
I just say it. So there was a really cool moment where Brian Shaw, I technically had never really actually met him in person, but I've watched him compete and stuff, and he walks up to me and he's like, Tia, I don't believe we've ever met before, but you know, I'm Brian. I was like, I know, and I was like, gave him a handshake, but then I went to give him a hug, and like, I was standing on my tippy toes, but on a plate, and I still only managed to get around his like belly, and I wasn't even able to get around his belly. He's so huge, and that was kind of really cool. And then, you know, getting photos with some of the strongman athletes as well, that was awesome. Yeah. But do you know, actually, something that was really cool? There were so many young kids in the crowd this weekend.
I feel there was a lot of kids there this year.
So many kids, and it was so cool because every time you would hear like this young voice being like, "Go Tia!" and I'd look around and it was like this little kid, and they're having such a great time, and that was awesome to see. That really made my heart warm, and I just thought that was really special.
That was cool.
Am I missing something? I feel like there was like a moment that I've like completely gone over.
No.
Are you sure?
And that's it? No, there wasn't. I just wanted to, I thought that would just be cool to ask a different. Yeah. I just didn't realize you were going to go through Tia.
What?
Who dresses you in the morning? Anyway,
I feel like a monkey right then.
Yeah. But I think, guys, what we do want to do is thank you for that.
Thank you so much for all the support over the weekend too. The messages, even though we may not get back to all of them, we read them and it's very, very humbling and very overwhelming and special.
The comments, guys, we appreciate that a lot. I know that keeps us, especially that if some of us can't sleep throughout the night, people troll through it and just look through it, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep much that weekend. It's not.
Actually, he did watch a few episodes of C.
Yeah.
That
trying to wrap it up and we're still talking.
Sorry.
Anyway,
sorry.
guys, we appreciate you. Honestly, we do. The support you guys have given us and the continuous support, we appreciate a lot. Thank you for watching this one. Thank you for liking and subscribing like you just did now. Appreciate that. And please leave a comment and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.